Alright, I'm going to pass on a little more information that has helped me with my guitar playing, my soloing, okay? So this is kind of a really easy introduction into the modes, all those Greek names that you read in Guitar Magazine, and it sounds really fancy and confusing. There's numbers and symbols that you've never seen before. Anyway, we don't have to worry about any of that for this particular lesson. I do, think it's really important, to know as much information as you can. So if you can learn that stuff, it's great. But this is a good way to just start applying some of those ideas. Basically, here's what we have. I'm going to be in A. Take an A7 chord. Like that. Okay, anytime you see that chord, in a kind of rock, blues, classic rock, funk setting, you could play what's called the Mixolydian mode over that 7 chord right here. So when you see this chord, here would be the scale that would go with it. Middle finger on the root from that chord. That's how I like to practice it. Pinky on this little transition spot. Okay, so if I just loop a little A7 chord, kind of naturally start to practice that scale, it's a little jam bandy, kind of Jerry Garcia type of sound, Stop that loop. Okay, but what's really cool, also obviously over an A7, especially the blues, most people play the pentatonic there. The blues scale as well, which is an added note to the pentatonic. Pentatonic and blues scale there, okay? So I played this thing called Mixolydian. But over that same groove, I played the blues scale. And those are two scales that you can play over that, but what's something cool that took me a while to figure out is the combination of the two. You can think of both, if you know both scales well enough, or you've practiced the fingering, you can kind of visualize both of those over that groove. And then you have to just try things out, but you can combine both scales together. So you can still always have your bluesy licks in there, and then you can kind of visualize where some of those other spots are as well. And I'll just play using that a little bit. of John Scofieldy kind of vibe, who I love. So here's one really cool thing that you can to think of both of those scales together. This is one really cool way to do it. Just think of it as all your pentatonic blues licks. But every time you get to this note, like this kind of thing, anytime you're going to get to that note, hammer on a half step up with your middle finger, and you get this kind of sound. And that really, the notes in that chord that you're playing over. Now, when you hammer on, it's just like a kind of bluesy jazz thing, but